So you've tried everything to study effectively. Long hours, pomodoro technique, Feynman technique, even tutors, but you still can't remember anything. What if I told you the problem wasn't how much effort you're putting in or even your ability to learn? It's your belief in various myths that impact the way you study and hold you back from studying at your true potential. And those myths are what we're going to debunk in today's video. I've been studying the science of studying for a while now, and it can be hard to know what's good advice and what's bad advice. So I've tested out all of these methods and learned a lot along the way. So I'm going to tell you the 7 myths that are holding you back from learning at your full potential. Once you break these beliefs, you'll be studying more effectively than ever before. And make sure to stick around till the end because the last myth is the most powerful one and it really ties all the other ones together. Myth number 1 is that quantity of study time is more important than quality study time. Many people believe the key to studying is just reviewing the material as much as possible, putting in as many hours as you possibly can, and just honestly, hours and hours and hours of studying. But that's not the case. You can't just judge the quality of studying based on how many hours you put in. There's much more that goes into it. If you do this, you're likely to fall into the trap of becoming a passive studier. And passive studying is honestly one of the worst things you can possibly do. Passive studiers care more about feeling like they're doing something than actually doing something. They put in 4 or 5 hours so they can say, oh, look, I studied for 4 or 5 hours. Like I did the right thing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. But if they were really being honest and they looked at the actual quality of their studying, it's probably not that great because, like I said, they're just concerned with putting in any hours. They don't really care how good they are. They just want to feel like they're doing the right thing. And that's a horrible trap to fall into. Because if your study sessions are low quality, what's even the point? You'd be better off spending half as much time, but putting in double the effort and being twice as effective, So don't fall into that trap of just doing more for the sake of it when really you're actually doing less. Here's a breakdown for you so you can kind of see if you're doing more quality-based studying right now or quantity-based studying right now. And be honest with yourself and really reflect because it's going to save you more time in the end if you actually go with the quality-based studying. Don't just log study hours, build habits that make every minute matter. Myth number 2 is that rereading is studying. And I guess it's not a complete myth that rereading is studying. It is a form of studying. It's just a pretty bad form of studying. If you find yourself rereading your textbook for studying purposes, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a very time-consuming study and a very passive study. So you're taking a lot of time and you're not really being that effective. You're falling into the trap of myth number 1, where you're putting in the hours, but not really putting in quality hours. Studying is supposed to be active and engaging, and rereading is one of the least active and engaging study methods there is because your brain can just read the textbook and kind of go into autopilot, shut down, and you're still reading and you feel like you're doing something, but up here, like the lights are off and nothing's actually sticking in there. I will say rereading a textbook chapter can be great if you didn't understand something, you need clarification, then yeah, go back and relearn it so you can understand what's happening. But if it's something that you understand and you're just trying to study it and like keep it fresh in your brain, much more effective study methods out there than rereading because that one is just very passive and very time consuming. Myth number 3 is that you can't learn something because it's not presented in your preferred learning style. And they've done studies on learning styles because a lot of people say like, oh, I'm a visual learner or I'm an audio learner. And they've done studies and it just doesn't exist. There aren't people who learn better in one medium than another. It's all just like pseudoscience and like placebo effect where people think that, but in reality, it doesn't actually exist. So even though you might think you learn better a certain way, unfortunately, the science shows that that's not true. There's not one way where you always learn better and that's your preferred learning style and you can only learn that way. So don't hold yourself back with that limiting belief because it's not true. Myth number 4 is that you have to learn one topic before you move on to the next topic. And this is just not true at all because a lot of people think like, if they're trying to learn something and they're really struggling on a topic, some people might say, oh, like, just skip it and move on and come back to it later. And they're like, no, like I need to learn this now. I need to learn this before I can move on to the next topic. And honestly, you don't. If you're stuck on something and you're really struggling and you can't learn it, take a step back, leave it for a day or two, go learn something else, and then come back to it. And you might be very surprised how much easier it is the second time you come back to it because, for one, you just leave it and come back and you have a fresher mind. Like when you're stuck working on something the whole time, like your brain just starts to break. Like it's just not looking at it correctly. Like you don't have fresh eyes. So sometimes it's just better to leave it, come back with fresh eyes. But also when you do that, your brain, like even though you're not actively working on it, subconsciously, your brain is working on it and trying to figure it out and hopefully making it easier for when you do come back so that you can solve the problem or understand whatever it was you were learning much easier. So don't let one topic completely stop your momentum. If you find yourself in that place, take a step back, go learn something else and come back to it in a day or two. And hopefully your brain did all this magic in the background and it's much easier the second time around. Myth number 5 is that you study better with other people. And this is not necessarily a myth, but I think for some people it might be, because some people are like, oh yeah, like I study better when I'm with a group or with I'm up with other people. And they tell themselves that as an excuse for them to go to a coffee shop and hang out with people and study. And fair enough. For some people, it might help, or it might help sometimes. But I would say other times you need to maybe be honest and say, do I actually study better with other people? Or do I just enjoy studying more when I'm with other people? Because they are different. When you're with other people, you might get to talk and socialize a little bit and not focus so much on the work. And because of that, you might actually enjoy studying a bit more, which honestly might make it more effective. So it's a little counterintuitive, but you also have to be honest and say, if I really like locked in and tried to do this by myself, would it be the most effective? Because yes, it might be easier to be with other people and socialize and take it a bit easier. But if you really need to study, probably the best thing for you to do is lock yourself alone in a room, no distractions, and just lock in. So just give yourself that reality check. Do I actually study better with other people, or do I just tell myself that? And be honest, because it's only yourself that you're hurting at the end of the day. Myth number 6 is that repetition is key. Many people will say, especially when it comes to the CPA exam, that just pound multiple choice, just go, hit the multiple choice as many times as you can. And that is true to an extent, but with a lot of these things, like I said, you have to be honest and ask yourself, is it still effective? Because if you've just repeated the same thing and pounded those multiple choice or those flashcards or whatever it is so many times that you have them nailed down, is it still effective? And are you even still learning, or are you just memorizing what you've done 100 times? Because pounding the MCQs is great until you get to the point where you're not really even thinking about the question anymore. You're just remembering what you answered last time. You just have it nailed down. You know, by the first 5 words of the sentence, oh, I know the answer is A, or I know the answer is this. So if you get to that point, it's probably not effective. And it's honestly probably detrimental, because it's giving you a false sense of security where you think you know things, but really you just know this specific set of answers. Like I said, this is a big thing for CPA exam students, because they kind of have their Becker question bank or their review course question bank, where it's the same questions over and over again. And at a certain point, it almost becomes ineffective to keep doing those same questions. So as you're studying your materials, definitely assess the situation. Are these materials still fresh enough for you to be gaining benefit from them, or should you find some new material to study? And myth number 7 is the most important myth of all. And that myth is that the best studying happens in a flow state. And you might hear a lot of people talk about this so-called flow state, where you're just locked in the zone, everything comes easy to you and you're just breezing through things. That's great, for so many things. If you're an artist or an athlete or so many different areas of your life, that's awesome if you can get into that flow state. But I would argue that studying is not one of those, because what I've learned about studying has shown that the best studying happens when you're not in a flow state. The best studying happens when you're actively engaged and really challenged. When I think of a flow state, I think of everything coming easy to you and like you're just snapping your fingers and it's just instinct and it's coming so naturally to you. But studying shouldn't be like that. Studying should be a slog. It should be tough. You should really be in the trenches, working through every problem. It shouldn't just be a breeze that, comes so easily. The best studying happens when you're challenged. Your brain needs to be actively engaged. And if you're like in a flow state where things come so easily, your brain might drop into autopilot mode and not actually be engaged and might not be challenged to the extent that it needs to be. This is why I said that rereading is such a poor study method, because it's so passive. Your brain can kind of just shut down and just go through it, autopilot. And that's why I think elaboration, multiple choice, and flashcards are the 3 best study methods, because you're so involved, you're so engaged, and you can't really switch off. Because if you're trying to do elaboration or a flashcard and you're not involved, that's going to be glaringly obvious, because you're going to have no answer to provide for either the back of the flashcard or to write out in your own words. So choose study methods where you're actively involved and you're really challenging yourself. Again, Don't do the same multiple choice questions over and over and over again until you can do them in your sleep. Get new multiple choice questions that challenge you and you have to think again and look at things from new angles. You don't want to be in a flow state when you're studying. Yes, it's probably more enjoyable because it's easier, but that's not the point of studying. Studying is supposed to be hard and challenging so we can learn most effectively. So yes, for many things, the flow state is amazing, but studying is not one of them. We need resistance and challenge when we're studying because that's really what's going to engage the brain and make sure we remember and learn the material that we're trying to study. Don't just stay in your comfort zone because you're never going to get to where you want to be if you do that. So those were the 7 myths you need to overcome to start studying at your full potential. And just to recap, they were: quantity of study time is more important than quality of study time. Rereading is a good form of studying. You can't learn things that aren't presented in your learning style. You have to finish one topic before you move on to the next. You study better with other people. Repetition is the key to success, and the best studying happens in a flow state. So those are all the myths that you need to kind of overcome and stop believing so that you can really excel and get to your full potential. And if you're a CPA student who has been struggling with the CPA exams and just can't seem to get it right, and you've had a failed attempt or two, I would encourage you to check the link down below because I've started offering one-on-one coaching and mentorship for students trying to get through the exams, where I coach you and just help you through it and hold your hand the entire way. So if that's something you're interested in, I would encourage you to check the link down below. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Peace.